We have a very interesting guest who's going to give us a bit of insight into some research around what students really want from a job in the northwest this summer. I think we've all sort of been there, the summer job, and let's sort of explore today, what some of the things that learners or students are looking for in terms of a job this summertime. So Helen, welcome to the show. Great to have you on board.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us a bit about the research, please, Helen? What sort of the research suggests around students looking in summer jobs?
Yeah, so our research showed that young people really value flexibility. In fact, that was their top thing that they were looking for, and it was higher even than competitive rates of pay. And they're also looking for a workplace that's close to home, which I think makes a lot of sense at this stage in your career. We also learned through this research that perhaps young people didn't see the opportunity to work flexibly in the NHS right away. But when we talked to them about it, over 2/3 of them said that they would be keen to work in the NHS. So that's really the message that we're trying to share, actually, that the NHS is a really flexible place to work, and there's lots of job opportunities available there.
I also noticed in the research it says that some of the 18 to 24 age group want to make a difference. Helen, can you tell us a little bit more in terms of share a little bit more in terms of what's sort of driving that in terms of making a difference? Can you give us a bit of insight into the research around that area?
Yeah, I'm really interested in that as well. So we've got a huge number of people that work on our NHS Professionals Bank. It's 190,000 people that are signed up. We understand from people that actually one of the most important things for them is that sense of meaning, a sense of deeper purpose, doing work that's really valuable. And the NHS, of course, has that in spades, doesn't it? It's a remarkable institution that we're really proud of in the UK. And I think when we talk to bank workers, they talk about that sense of community, sense of being part of the NHS family. And I think for young people, they're looking for that kind of that intrinsic motivation, that sense of making a difference. Whilst it's learning, it's kind of giving them new skills, it's giving back, and it's also getting paid. I think it just hits so many things that are important to young people.
Absolutely. And I suppose when you think of NHS, a lot of people will think medical training in terms of are there positions, is there positions that involve I suppose making people aware that there are positions within the NHS that you don't necessarily have to be sort of medically trained. Is that the case, Helen?
Yeah, so I think naturally people think about doctors and nurses and other types of healthcare roles. We also want to just share that we've got phenomenal support services across the NHS that really provides such an exceptional service to keep that frontline healthcare running. And those support services include people working in IT, people working in finance, people supporting the maintenance of the properties, the grounds, housekeeping, reception. So you don't have to have specific training to work in a lot of these roles. You can come and join the bank, and we'll make sure that you get the on-the-job skills that you need. But you can immediately start in some of these positions. Then they're really open to people, joining the NHS new and learning on the job.
Absolutely. And in terms of in the sense that there's sort of learners out there, students out there, they're looking for that flexibility to save some money going into the next semester. So they are there is, I mean, you talked about it before about sort of jobs being available for learners or for people who are looking for that flexibility to sort of like, you know, maybe build up some finance. How do they sort of go about finding out more information, Helen, in terms of if they, for example, reach the end of term now and they're looking for some sort of work, and where can we sort of signpost people who may be interested in sort of looking into this more further?
Yeah, so we'd love to hear from people that are looking for earning opportunities, as you say, over the summer. And we've tried to make it really simple. We put everything in one place. It's on our website, and that is www.nhsprofessionals.nhs.uk. And there you'll find details of how you sign up to the flexible bank, you know, how it works, what sorts of roles that you can do. And there's also really good support if you need questions answered.
Absolutely. So there you go. For our sort of listeners listening in there, the website details are there. We want to look into in more detail. Helen, thank you for joining on the show. Helen Ives was very kind of her to join us on the show to give us an insight in terms of flexible work within NHS. It's an interesting, informative interview. Thanks again for coming on board the Friday Sports Show. Your host, Jimmy Petruzzi, 94.5 FM Salford City Radio.
Thank you, Jimmy. Have a good day.
Thank you.